All right, it is Derek back with the Fantasy Flyer and your Week 18 takeaways, getting you ready for the postseason. As usual with these takeaway videos, it's only going to be a few minutes, so let's hop right in. Number one, the playoffs are here. They are set after a large number of teams went into Sunday with the chance to get their hands on a playoff spot. Only a handful could make that happen. Those teams were Green Bay and Tampa Bay in the NFC, and Buffalo and Pittsburgh in the AFC. They all secured their rights to play in Week 19. The unfortunate result then happens to be the reality for several other teams, those being Seattle, New Orleans, Atlanta, and the Vikings in the NFC, as well as the Jaguars and the Colts in the AFC. So sorry, try again next year. That leaves San Francisco and Baltimore with first round buys. The wild card round games look like this Saturday, the 13th, we will have the Browns and the Texans at 4:30 p.m. Dolphins and Chiefs will see the return of Tyreek Hill to Kansas City. That will be at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. On Sunday, January 14th, we have Buffalo hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers at 1 p.m. The Packers will visit Dallas at 4:30 p.m. And then at 8 o'clock, you have the return of Matthew Stafford to Detroit as the Rams will take on the Lions. Jared Goff will face his former coach and Sean McVay. And then the final game will be Monday Night Football. Buccaneers will host the trailing Eagles at 8 o'clock. Looks to be exciting for that one. On to number two. With the playoff set, the predictions are starting to roll in, and this is a great way to follow up the introduction to the playoff schedule. Some obvious top dogs are going to be having to put themselves to the test at the busiest time of the year. The Ravens and 49ers are number ones for good reasons, and they won't play, as I just mentioned, but it cannot be overstated how trustworthy these two teams have been all year. If it weren't for some key injuries, the 49ers would have had a chance to match the Baltimore Ravens record of 13-4. Behind these two teams in their respective conferences, the AFC boasts a hard-charging Bills who have won 6 of their last 7, and a team that has been admittedly excellent over the last few weeks, and a Browns team that seems to be functioning quite well under a young up-and-comer in Joe Flacco. In the NFC, the hottest teams are likely the Lions and the Cowboys, both looking to repossess some of the 1990s swagger that has made them famous and has kept some of their fan bases around. Not speaking from personal story or anything like that. They're both looking to make a deep playoff run. The Rams also looking very solid as they won 4 straight to earn the 6th seed in the NFC. Number 3, the coaching carousel. A lot of this started last night just after midnight, and it has continued into today, Monday the 8th. The carousel has officially received its first 25 cents, and the movement has come with lights, sounds, and pretty ponies. Ron Rivera has been relieved of his duties in Washington. Arthur Smith has been fired from the Atlanta Falcons after 3 straight 7-10 seasons. And Wink Martindale resigned from the Giants' defensive coordinator position mere hours after being invited back by Brian Daboll. It is expected that another 2 and 3 vacancies could be opening up, with Bill Belichick being the biggest name rumored to be on the brink of unemployment, albeit probably temporarily. The Commanders and Falcons both have top 10 picks and questions revolving not only their quarterback position, but their defense. Interesting to keep an eye on them as we go into the offseason beyond the Super Bowl. Number 4, the league leaders are varied. Only one is really record breaking, and it's not a league leader, but we'll touch on that at the end. For quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa ends the regular season with the most passing yards at 4,624. Dak Prescott leads the league with 36 passing touchdowns, and Brock Purdy led all quarterbacks with a 113 passer rating with a minimum of 5 games played. Mason Rudolph, shout out to him. He had 118 passer rating, but I think he only played 3 games. For the rushing leaders, Christian McCaffrey comes in head and shoulders above the rest with 1,459 yards in 16 games. And Raheem Mostert led all running backs with 18 rushing touchdowns and only 15 games played. For receivers, Tyreek Hill led the league with 1,799 yards. CeeDee Lamb led the league in receptions with 135 and yards after carry with 680. And Puka Nacua set the rookie record in receiving yards with 1,486 yards. Congrats to all league leaders and whatever incentive clauses they may have activated with their accomplishments to earn some extra money going into the postseason. Defensively, Deron Bland from Dallas led the league in interceptions with 9. TJ Watt had 19 sacks, and Bobby Wagner led the league in tackles with a sparkling 183. It's fantastic to see all the league leaders and all the numbers that have been put up. Proud to see of all of your accomplishments. Moving along to the fifth and final point. For some of these teams, unfortunately, the off season has begun technically. For half the league, their offseason has begun anyway. Many questions about team improvements and scheme changes amid coaching changes have begun. What is going to happen prior to the draft? Are the Bears going to keep Justin Fields? Are the Giants going to keep Daniel Jones? Are the Cardinals going to do anything? Are the Patriots going to try and not do that again? There's a lot of questions. There's just a lot of things that we can address. Several big names are on the brink of being free agents, including Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, T. Higgins, and Kirk Cousins. Uh, the In terms of disappointing teams, the Jaguars and the Chargers topped the list. They were set for big years in 2023 and unfortunately came up short, more so the Chargers than the Jaguars. However, the Jaguars lost 5 of their last 6 or 6 of their last 7 or something like that. They started the season 6-2. They ended at 9-8. Wasn't great. Not far behind them are the Patriots, Jets, and Bengals, already trying to plan for the 2024 season. The questioning and planning starts now, but any major action will likely wait until after the Super Bowl on February 11th. And as for any of us in the fantasy community, we've already started speculating, so I will save that for another video. For Derek, and no, let's try that again. For the Fantasy Flyer, my name is Derek, and we will see you guys later this week with another episode. Take care.